Hey, how's everyone doing? This is my second video of the day. It's a lot of videos, but whatever. Tomorrow is probably going to be crazy busy. Well, I hope it's going to be crazy busy. But anyways, I wanted to do the weekly recap for not this past week yet, but from July 26th, I think it was, to August 1st. So we're going to start out. I have no idea what, I know I sold some stuff on Facebook, and I'll go through the pictures here in a minute, but I'm going to start with Etsy. I didn't have any sales on eBay, so we'll just start with the one that's easiest to remember. So on August 1st, I sold a amethyst hand-carved pig, little guy. And what did I have him up there for? I had him up there for $25, and it looks like after the shipping costs and fees, why is that so high? Fees and credits. It looks like I made about $21 on this little amethyst pig, and it went out to Washington State. Next up, this is consignment. This is part of my friend Joe's stuff. He had a menorah, and I posted that, and it got snapped up really quickly. So that was cool. I had it listed for $43. They had a coupon, so it looks like $32 was the earnings on this, and I'll get 60% of that. He'll get 40%. Then this thing was, what did I buy this from? It was a garage sale. Oh my god. Ow, my hair. Anyways, ouch, that was still attached. It was an auction house that I bought from when I first started out, and I bought a lot of these Brutalist hand-twisted wire sculptures, and it was in the style of Cerati. I don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right or not, but one was signed and the rest were not. And I'm trying to find the name of this place that I bought it from. It was in Pennsylvania, and it seems like I did a couple auctions with them. I don't know if it was just weird stuff or something, but it took forever. It took forever to sell this stuff. I literally just sold the last one of these guys in this whatever time frame. And I'm trying to, I want to say it's uniques and antiques. But anyways, this guy finally sold. I had him over at the garage sale, and I had to go over there and get it to pack it up to send it. And it was listed for $16. They didn't have any coupons, it doesn't look like, so I made $14. In reality, I've had it for 3 years. I've had to renew it every 4 months at 20 cents. I've taken pictures of it twice. So did I make any money on it? Maybe a couple bucks. And that went to Wisconsin. Next up, I had 2 of these brass easels. And again, I took them over to the garage sale. So I sold one, I had to go get it. And I'm like, all right, well, if it sold that quickly, I'm just going to pull the other one and bring it back. And I'm glad I did, because that sold the following week. So this sold, I had it up there for $16. They paid shipping. After fees, I made $13. And I got these in a lot from, I want to say Langston. So that means no shipping, which is fantastic. Then we had a teapot cozy. I think the fabric on this was so cute. This came from that bundle, the 2 lots of fabric things that I bought when I first started from Langston. I got 2 lots. Each was $10. And I'm talking, these boxes were probably at least 17 inches, 2 of them, and they were packed full. So I had 3 teapot cozies in this, and this was the last one, and it sold finally. And that went out, and they actually just came back and left a review, which was really cool, and they love it so much, and I'm super happy about that. So this went up to New York, and I had it listed for $12. So I made like $6 on this thing, maybe $7 after fees and stuff. Nice. But I've already made the money on those linens for sure, so that's perfectly fine. This next one, I didn't want to sell it, so I had it priced kind of high. I found it in the, what was it, a Goodwill? I think it was a Goodwill over in Wilson. We stopped there one day after we went to Rummage Warehouse, and they were getting ready to close, so I had to go through really, really fast. I found this on the back wall, and I want to say it was $25. And I kept it here for a long time. I love the colors. They're my colors, and I just think it's super cool. So someone came in. I had it listed online at $98, and they asked if I could do anything, and we negotiated back and forth, and they ended up paying $75 for this thing. Shipping was, of course, astronomical because it's a piece of art, and Etsy doesn't allow you to choose FedEx. They make you display USPS, which I have some problems with that. But anyways, I ended up refunding her back a bunch of money, and after all said and done, how much did I make on this? I probably ended up making about $50, which is not horrible. Yeah, because, well, maybe about $40 after, like, because of the $25 pay to find it, right? And then I refunded her back her shipping cost, and the listing was up there for $98. I gave it to her for $75, so I had to calculate that in there, which still perfectly good. I'm okay with that, and I hope she loves it as much as I did, and it went up to Indiana. Then I had someone come in and purchase 2 items. One of them was something I mentioned in an earlier video about Etsy renewals, where I had taken these over to the garage sale and I sold them, and like an hour after that, I was busy. I didn't have time to deactivate it on Etsy. It sold on Etsy. So I had to message them, and I'm like, I'm sorry, it's not available. They had purchased something else, this vintage wooden napkin holder. We picked this up down near Fayetteville a couple of years ago. And so how much was that? Because I had to refund some money back to them. Items price. I hate when it does that. It doesn't like break it down and give you how much each item cost in their recaps or whatever they are. Let me see if I can get to it a different way, and I can see what I had it listed for. So this napkin holder was listed for $18. Did they have a coupon? Fees, credits. It doesn't look, yeah, they had a don't leave this behind coupon. So, and they also are an Etsy insider, so they had $6 off on their shipping and this, that, and the other. So all told, I earned like $11 on this. What are you gonna do? But I want to say I paid $8 for it, and I've had it 2, 4, 6, 8, maybe $1.20's worth of renewal fees from Etsy. So maybe I made $1 or $2 on it. Super cute. I don't know why it took so long to sell, or why no one seemed to love it. Then we had a Italian red leather jewelry box. I got this in an auction from Brownstone, and it had some damage to it, wear on the corners because it is leather. And I had that listed. It was so pretty and so small. Like, I would have kept it myself, honestly. Red's not really my favorite color. So I had it listed up for $78 and they didn't have any coupons, and that's what they paid for. And I ended up making $69.57 on this. And I'm fairly sure I only paid maybe $18. And it was filled with cufflinks, old vintage cufflinks and stuff like that. So made my money on that one for sure, which is good because losing your butt on a couple other items, that kind of sucks. And it helps when there's things like this to offset it. Then we had a straight razor with a Bakelite handle. This thing was messed up, like super corroded and rusty, and the Bakelite had chips and cracks in it, and I've had it since, I want to say this was something I got from my very first Burns auction, and I have had it listed for a while. I kept renewing it, and what was the final price? I finally just had it up there for 13 bucks, figuring someone might like it for the Bakelite handle that was still kind of intact. And someone bought it. I pulled it to pack it, and unfortunately, the little piece of Bakelite had broken away from the handle. So I messaged the buyer, and people don't respond quickly usually, so I canceled the order and refunded him back the money. And he had messaged me and said, hey, so, well, after I messaged him and let him know that I found it and it was broken, he messaged me. He's like, well, I kind of really just wanted it for the blade. So, Renee. So I relisted it and had to pay freaking 20 cents or whatever. But, that was my mistake. I refunded it too quickly, canceled the order, and so he was very gracious about it, and I appreciate that so much. So I probably made $8 on this, all said and done, which is fine because that one lot from Burns, I probably cleared over $400 on it, at least. So that was all right. Then we had, then we had a hand carved and painted wooden loon. People love these ducks, and so when I saw it in a lot with brownstone, there was 3 other things in it, and I didn't really care about the other 2 things. I bought it for this thing alone, and I can't remember how much I paid for the lot. I want to say it was maybe $5 for the items. I'll pop it in the screen because I know I took a screenshot of it. And they bought it. Didn't message me or anything. Foreshadowing. And I packed it up same day they ordered it and went on my merry way, right? They paid $24. I made $20, and it went up to Connecticut. Now, on Tuesday, I got a message. I hate these messages when they come in like this because it just gives me such a heart attack. Help request, right? From the person who bought this. And it's like, you need help with, I want to message the seller about something else. And then they're like, note for seller, please do what you can. So I get the loon Thursday, August 6th, which was tomorrow. So they messaged me on Wednesday. It's a gift for our friends, and we are leaving very early Friday morning. Buyers, if you have a situation where you're trying to get something in a timely fashion, you need to message your seller, because USPS, FedEx, and UPS have no kind of sense of urgency unless you pay for an upgrade. And once I pack it and it leaves my hands, I cannot magically, make them deliver it any faster, which really sucks, but that's just the way it is. So I messaged her back. I said, sometimes it shows because they got it on the 31st, right? And here it is Wednesday, 2 days ago, what was that, the 5th? She's messaging me that she needs it. So I figured it would have been delivered by then. It hadn't. So I clicked on the tracking, of course, and called FedEx, and they're like, well, it's somewhere in the system, which is very helpful. Because they couldn't tell me where it was after it had left the state of North Carolina. And the state of North Carolina had some serious flooding issues in the upper part of the state. And that's kind of where FedEx drops it, right? So I don't know if it was delayed by that. They don't reach out and let you know if that's the case. So you just kind of have to guess. So anyways, I'm trying to like be empathetic and, without saying, what the, you should have told me. You could have upgraded, but you didn't. So anyways, let her know I looked, and it's saying it wasn't going to be delivered until Friday, which really sucks, but whatever. And then yesterday I checked and it said it was supposed to be delivered yesterday. And unfortunately, it didn't get delivered yesterday. It's marked as out for delivery. So, they might come back and ding me with a review on that. But like, I can't do anything about it if you don't say anything about it. It's just the way it is. We have no control once the package leaves our hands. And as soon as you pack something and put a label on it, purchase that label, they get a tracking number. So that tells them, okay, they've already gotten it and they're shipping it. So what do? Sucks. I know. So frustrating when that happens. Anyways, we'll see what happens with that. Next up was a small segmented wooden bowl. Wooden bowls, I think, are very awesome, right? I like the warmth of the material. I like how they look, right? But they don't sell super well for me. I have a ton of them. And this was a small one I recently got in an auction from Langston. And I had a larger one similar several years ago, and that sold great. But anyways, so I was like, I'm not pricing this thing very high because I really, really wanted to sell. And I had it listed for $20, and that's exactly what they bought it for. They paid shipping, obviously, and I earned $17 on this. Oh, and they left a review, a 5-star, and they loved it. So let's see. Hey there, here we are, trying to finish this recap video. It is Monday. What is it, the 10th? It's the 10th. And I started this recap video last week. So let's see if we can maybe get this finished today. Recapping July 26th to August 1, and I'm almost through it, but let's go. We had a crystal vase that sold. I got this with a lot of other Hofbauer red flash crystal vases back when in the summer, the first year I started, from a local auctioneer. And man, they have been taking forever to sell. This was the last piece of it, and it went down to Texas. Buyer paid $12, and after costs, etc., what did I earn? $10. And they came back, left a good review. Happy day. Very, very pleased about that. Then we had a wooden duck. I don't know if we found this. I think we found this on our Pennsylvania road trip. Fairly sure. And that was a couple years ago. I have no idea what I paid for it at this point. I don't remember. But it was purchased. It is a vintage wood duck decoy by Carl. What is his last name? He had taped his name on the bottom of this duck. So that's why I knew who had created the duck. And at Altenho, out of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So I'm fairly sure we found that on our road trip. It was listed for $34 and he didn't have any discounts or anything, and it looks like I made $31 on this. I probably paid about anywhere between $8 and $12 on this. That's generally where I try to be for handmade, hand-carved wooden duck decoy things. And that went to Michigan. Then we had someone who stopped in and purchased two things. They picked up the vintage brass apple bell with 2 leaves. I had to differentiate because at one time I had several apple bells, and this one had 2 leaves on it. And they also bought the last of the brass easels. This went out to Tennessee. It's already been delivered because this was a couple weeks ago, right? Just trying to get caught up. But the total of the items was $30. And after fees and everything, I made $27, which is good because I probably spent $5 or $6 on the bell. And that easel, the brass easel, was in a lot from Langston. I don't remember, but there was several of them in there. So I'm going to call it that I made money on it because I don't want to know if I didn't right now. It's just, I just don't. Then we had, moving right along. Anyways, we had some mid-century modern coin glasses. I had one left, a small rocks glass, and it was sold. I had it up there for $10. They paid $10, earned $8.50 on this, and it went out to, or up to, Connecticut. Don't know if it arrived. I assume it did. He never left a review or anything like that. Then we had an order for 3 French steel bocce balls. And I know I got these in an order from Langston. No, nope, that is incorrect. This was an order from Brownstone. How much did I pay for that? This was back in December. Yeah, December 23rd. So I paid $23. This is what they packed with all that creamware, and it destroyed. Like, they just threw these 3 heavy steel balls in this big box full of fragile antique creamware, and there was no bubble wrap. There was no box in a box or anything like that. It was just wrecking shop inside the damn big ass box with a bunch of paper in it. Have you ever tried to, like, think that maybe paper isn't going to stop 3 steel balls? It didn't. I'm still super irritated about that. I just don't understand people's thought process when it comes to stuff like that. And these weren't lightweight. Where's my shipping? Where is my shipping thing? Oh yeah, 6 pounds. 6 pounds of steel balls floating around in this box. Anyways, they sold. What did we get? What did I have? I had them listed for $68, and that's what they paid. There was no coupons or anything like that. So earned $63 on this, which is good. So made some money on that, I believe. And that went up to Massachusetts. Then we had, I can't tell if I'm going forward, backward, I don't know. Anyways, July 28th, an order came in for 4 1930s Big Little books. And I have had these for a while. I want to say I got them from Brownstone. I have no idea what I paid for them right now. I just don't know. I had them up there individually for sale, but no one seemed to want to do that. So I lumped them together, brought the price down, and it was $16 by the time this person came along, and I made $12.11. They went back upstate to New York. Then we had a velvet wall hanging of antelopes. I don't remember where I got this, because I had it for a while and it was sitting in there, in my death pile or whatever. If I can remember where the heck I got it and how much I paid for it, I'll pop it in on the screen. But in the sake of trying to get this thing done, I'm going to move right along. I had it listed for $65. That's what they paid for it. And it looks like I earned $52 off of this, and it went out to California. Next we had, okay, the Bormioli Rocco glass water pitcher. This was in a Langston auction that I picked up. Here we are. Found it. So it was in a lot of a ton of things. Like there was a bunch of stemware in this, a bunch of glassware, and I sold some of this for quite a large profit because it was like Swedish glassware. And then I had some tumblers, and so I got the entire lot for $10. And there was like probably 30 pieces of glassware, some blue plates, and this pitcher in this lot for $10. And what did we do? Had it priced for $32, and that's what it sold for. It went all the way out to California, and I made $42.77. So that lot of those items for $10, these are the lots that I really have to rely on in order to make this money when I have to sell things for a smaller profit. These types of lots help. So she left a review, loves it. I am so happy it made it out there in the same, condition I shipped it, because glass, pitcher, California, FedEx ground. All right, then we had a July 28th order for a vintage Fitz and Floyd house lightweight bookends. These are so cute, yellow and oranges. I almost kept them, but it's like I already have bookends, and what am I going to do with these? And they're cool because they came apart. Like you could take the houses off and the little metal things slide in and store flat. So it was really neat. And it was purchased by another reseller. So it went out to California. Don't remember. Let's see, what did I got this. I got this in the same lot that I got that stemware in. And I paid $15 for the entire lot, and there was a ton of stuff in it. And so this was another very, very good lot that I actually made some money on, thankfully. Woohoo! Yay. But I'm not gonna price them to keep them for the rest of my life, so I priced them at $32, and that's what they paid, and they were shipped out to Cali, and I made $30 on this. Happy about that. Then, what is this? We had a Williams-Sonoma professional large heavy roasting pan. I had to clean this thing so many times. It was disgusting. And just bad, really bad. So I know I washed it in the dishwasher a couple times. Then I scrubbed it with Bon Ami like several times, trying to get the ick and the disgustingness off of it. I finally succeeded. I listed it. And what did we have? I had it up there for $98. And after shipping, where the heck did that go? Because dang. Order details. Did it go to California? Arizona. Might as well have gone to California. So $98. They paid almost $30 in shipping. And after fees and credits, etc., earned about $50. Is that enough earnings for the time I put into it? Probably not. Live and learn. It's amazing how you could be doing this for so long and still be making all these things and still learning, still having these learning curves. So we're almost done. We're making it happen here. 3:20, I've got to leave to go to storage to meet someone to sell something. And then I have to go to the gym and teach a class. So next up, we had a vintage Two's Company clear glass bubble bowl slant cut terrarium planter. This was something that I got from, I want to say, consigners. One of the first pickups from them that we did when we first started. This went out to Vegas, and they had a coupon that was in their cart. Didn't make much money on this, but it had a couple little chips around the rim, and I wasn't going to price it very high. I had it priced for $18. They got 15% off. So the earnings, I ended up making $13. And quite honestly, it has sat in here for years. I just had like an air plant hanging out in it because I didn't think anyone would buy it. That's the moral of the story. Don't try to determine what people are going to buy until they show you, right? I sell surprisingly some items and I'm like, there's no way I'm going to sell that. And then it sells and I'm like, oh, well, what the hell do you know, Renee? Not much. Anyways, next we had on July 27th, a glass oil lamp chimney with hand-painted flowers. They had a coupon, a cart coupon. Their Etsy Insider item price was $18. They had a coupon for $2.70 off. I made $12 on this. I want to say this came in a lot. This came in a lot from Langston, maybe. Or maybe it came from Burns. I don't remember anymore because I've had them for a long time. I've had them for a while. Never listed them because I was stressed about shipping them. I mean, glass oil lamp chimneys, they're fragile, right? Well, they look fragile. So anyways, packed it up, sent it off. She's already left a review. She loves it. Happy day. $12 on it. Namaste. Then we had a handmade wooden box that you could use for like a reenactment, like a Civil War reenactment prop or something like that. It was rough looking. I'll pop it in here. It went up to West Virginia. I had it listed for $18 and they didn't have any cart coupons or anything. So I made $13.40 on this, and I know for a fact that came down from Ohio, not very far away from where it went back to, from Burns. Then we had, I want to say I mentioned this in the other video, but just in case I didn't, I had an order on July 26th for 3 vintage lace wooden bobbins, an antique cobbler shoe form for a Kempton, I think it was a child's shoe form, and 2 shave brushes made of ivory and butterscotch bakelite, and those went down to Florida. That was all in one order. They paid $75 total, and I made $70, which is cool. The bobbins are like itty bitty things. The shoe, I have used that in my house as decoration for several years. I got that from Langston. The bobbins came from Burns, as did the shaving brushes. So that was good. Finally, woohoo! That wraps up July 26th to August 1. So my next endeavor is like, I'm probably not ever going to get caught up, but you know, we'll just keep on, you know, picking away at it and see what happens. But anyways, doing these vintage pop-ups and the garage sales every Saturday is killing my productivity and getting things listed. So that's one goal that I made myself this week, is that I have got to get in there and get some pictures taken and get some things listed, because I am actually under 1,000 items for the first time on Etsy in years, which is a great problem to have. But I want to get my inventory up, because if it's not up, it's lost money. It's just like hanging out in the storage unit for free, basically. No money for me. So it is, yeah, whatever. It's Monday. My eyes twitching. I need a little bit more sleep, but it'll be all right. Y'all take care, and I will see you soon.